Yeah.
All right, JMC 6000 here, and here in the first video of the new year, I have before you the 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross in this black, I think it's called agate black, I believe the color. Let's go find out real quick. Well, let's work on the window sticker and I'll tell you all about the Mitsubishi. But it's actually called Labrador Black Pearl, with the interior that is black, which we'll go over here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and go on the outside real quick. What I want to do something a little bit different for my videos. All right, let's come back up front here. So as you can see, this Mitsubishi has LED turn signals, LED daytime running lights, LED headlights and high beams, and this light right down here is a fog light, which is LED as well. So you can see the front of it here. The Eclipse Cross didn't really change much for the 2024 model year. But if it did have, this particular model doesn't have it, but if it did have adaptive cruise, the sensor would be right here, and there would be a camera right up front here, but it doesn't have either of those. So let's go ahead and go along the side here. This is the limited edition package where we have these beautiful blacked out 18-inch rims. As you can see here, 225/55 R18 riding on Bridgestone tires. And then if we look out back here, we have LED tail lights that kind of go up here. This is kind of a trademark of the Eclipse Cross. They go into the lift gate right here, and then we also have incandescent turn signals and I believe an LED backup light. So it's kind of unique that the turn signal is incandescent, but the brake lights, everything else is all LED. This is the limited edition model. All right, now let's go back over to the window sticker here. This particular model, with all of its options, everything, it has a tonneau cover, which I'll show you in the back, has the welcome package, also has the LE Plus package with the wheel locks and all that. All in, we're looking at about $30,000. The destination, $30,255. This actual Mitsubishi is actually made in Japan. You can see the gas mileage, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. And this limited edition has quite a bit of standard features, but it does have some things that are missing, which I'll go over and discuss once we get into the interior. Before we get into the interior, let's talk about what's underneath the hood. All right, where's my prop rod? Right here. Underneath the hood of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, I can get this engine cover out of the way. There we go. Reveals a 1.5 direct and port injected Mitsubishi spec 4-cylinder. It looks pretty easy to work on. We see the turbo is right back here. This is the charge air tube that comes out of the turbo, goes to a front mount air-to-air intercooler, comes back around, and then it goes up to the throttle body, which is right here. Has a composite intake, pretty common for vehicles of today. We do have direct and port injection on this model, which is pretty nice. I believe it does have the Mitsubishi MyVex system, which is kind of like an intake variable cam timing system. I believe there's nothing on the exhaust side. Unfortunately, this engine, being as small as it is, doesn't produce amazing power figures. It's at 152 horsepower and 182 or 84 pound-feet of torque. And that's about all it produces. And it flows through a CVT that's supplied by Nissan, the Jacko unit. So it flows through CVT. You can see where the fresh air comes in. This is the air filter right here. And then it flows into the turbo right back here. Flows out of the turbo into the charge air tube intercooler, and then it goes into this little tiny intake right here. Awesome. Well, that is the 1.5 turbo. Again, not impressive power figures, but you know what? It's all right for what it is. It actually gets out of its own way pretty decently. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go inside, and we'll do my likes and dislikes and my overall kind of what I think about this Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. All right, inside the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, we're going to start it up here. Comes to life here. Now let's kind of go over the interior real briefly, and then I'll go over my likes and dislikes. Number one, these seats right here. So this is a black interior. It's got some silver on through here to kind of break up the monotony of an all-black interior. One of the things that I don't like, might as well go through some of the things I don't like. Here we go. Some of my dislikes about this particular vehicle has to be, number one, has to be the amount of piano black plastic that Mitsubishi uses. It's all throughout the center console here. It's all, this whole section is piano black plastic. I do like the physical e-brake there, but, and then even on the doors, we have piano black plastic up here, piano black over on where the window switches are, and the door lock and unlock. So yeah, just a lot of piano black plastic that I'm not a big fan of, and it scratches easy and it shows fingerprints very, very easily. So I think Mitsubishi could have done there. Second dislike that I have with the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has to be this infotainment. Now this is a Mitsubishi spec infotainment system. Unlike the Outlander, the Outlander uses a version of the Nissan system, which is a lot better than this. This thing is just basic, it's plain, and it has this weird film. It seems like when I connect Android Auto on it, it seems like it has this weird, I don't know, like almost like a glossy glaze to it. It's very, I'm sorry, like a dull finish rather. It's very weird, very rudimentary. There's nothing fancy about this thing. It seems to be pretty responsive, but this is something I would find in a vehicle almost 10 years old, but yet we're in 2024 and it's here. Another thing that is kind of a downside of this vehicle is so it's $30,000, but yet it's very, very sparse on the inside here. I'm gonna have my daughter come inside. She's filming me right now. So there are some nice materials with the padded dashboard and some padding on the side here. We do have some cloth on the door, and the door armrests are kind of padded, but I don't know, they're kind of hard. Especially this right here is somewhat padded, but it's kind of hard. But just, I don't get a leather wrap steering wheel, don't get a leather wrap shifter. I don't even get I don't know, it's just, if you look at the mirrors, they don't even have blind spot monitoring. I get a little tiny little blind spot mirror in the corner. I mean, it's like there's very sparse things about this for 30 grand, which is very, very hard for me to swallow. And then I come to the center gauge cluster, and this is the information I get. Right now I got it set on miles per gallon and average speed. I get this goofy little eco kind of a thing. It shows me, oh, now to automatically reset my miles per gallon there. It shows me distance to empty, trip A or trip B, trip A, settings, and then I have when I have to get the oil change next, what the all-wheel drive is doing, and then this leaf that kind of lets me know when I'm being eco or not. And that's it. There's not a lot of information to go through here, and you got to pick and choose. I can't have a digital speedometer. I can't have some other things. And then when I turn the cruise control on and I hit the cruise set, it doesn't even tell me what miles per hour the cruise is set at. I have to guess using the needle. So it's very rudimentary. And so I wish it was a little bit better that way. And then I'll go into my driving portion here, so stay tuned for that. But let me go over my likes that I have with the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Eclipse Cross. And then I'll go over my overall kind of feelings about this thing. So some of the highlights of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Number one, I do like the way it's styled. I think the outside styling, I think Mitsubishi nailed it. I know it's been having this style since about 2021, 2020. Maybe 21, but it looks very well. It's a good looking vehicle. I like this limited edition blacked out kind of exterior and whatnot, and I think it looks good that way. Number two thing that I like about the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross is I actually get a physical e-brake, which is pretty cool. It doesn't have, I mean, it's a big oafy big thing here, but it doesn't have electric e-brake. I actually can physically bring up the e-brake, which I just think is cool. I do have heated seats, which is nice. And one of the bonus things I want to say that is nice about this vehicle is the cloth seats in this limited trim are very, very comfortable. Even though it's all manual adjustment, no power in $30,000, but they are very, very comfortable. And then final thing that I do like about this Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has to be the SAWC Super All-Wheel Control. I could choose between normal, sport, gravel, and then back to normal. And it seems like it really does a good job of, bringing out the power where it needs to be between the front and rear and all that. And I think Mitsubishi really did a good job at that Super All-Wheel Control, kind of a drive mode button there. Usually I keep it in normal. So anyway, overall, here's my thoughts about the Eclipse Cross. It's confusing to me. It really is. It's like Mitsubishi is kind of at this weird point that it doesn't know what to do. I feel like Mitsubishi's at a cross. It's losing its identity. It doesn't know where to go, what to do. I mean, Mitsubishi used to be like the fun Japanese company. That was kind of like Mazda as well. But Mitsubishi was awesome at producing the Eclipse back in the day, the Lancer and the Evolute and the Evo and all those vehicles. And now it's at this weird point where I know it's the majority of stake is owned by Nissan and Renault, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like Mitsubishi as a company, when it's collaborated with Nissan and Renault and that big alliance there, it's kind of like, oh, it's Mitsubishi. It's just there. We don't know what we're doing with it, but here you are. Here goes Mitsubishi. It's kind of being left by the wayside. And yes, the Outlander is nice, and it's almost like a fancy Rogue is what I would describe the Outlander, but everything else in the Mitsubishi portfolio is just left to just languish, and nothing's really done with it. Now, if you want an Eclipse Cross, they are, pretty decent vehicles. I do like the Super All-Wheel Control, and the 1.5 is the decent powertrain with the CVT. You can take it or leave it. The CVT seems to be pretty responsive, but I would suggest getting the SEL. Skip the limited edition, skip the SE, get the SEL, because the SEL has adaptive cruise, it has the leather seats, it has the gushy soft armrest, the gushy soft elbow padding on the doors and everything else. It seems like a much nicer interior versus this particular one that I'm riding in, that I'm driving here today. But that's my overall thoughts. Stay tuned for the driving portion. That's coming up next, and I'll let you know kind of the insights about fuel mileage, what it's like to drive this 1.5 turbo, and how it feels, everything going down the road. Awesome. Thank you. All right, JMC 6000 here behind the wheel of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross 2024 limited edition. Anyway, I'm coming up, you cannot see this while I'm driving, but right now I'm coming up on this hill, and I want to take all of my vehicles that I do instrumental test up this hill just to see how they perform, to see how they do, and to see if they can actually, how does the engine, the transmission form going up a pretty steep incline. I don't know the exact steepness of this incline, but we're going to see what this is like, more than just a highway drive. I mean, I've done highway drives before, but I think they can be boring. So what I want to do is this uphill test. Right now I got the cruise set to about 55. Engine RPMs now going up to about a little over 2 grand, still climbing. This hill's starting to bite just a little bit. Now they're backing down. Couple things I noticed. It is very smooth. The 1.5 turbo combined with the CVT is a very smooth powertrain. It does have faux shifting involved when you get on it, but at certain times the faux shifting is like disabled, and it won't do it. So it's kind of weird that way, but seems to be climbing up this hill just fine. It just settled right back down to about 1800 RPM, so not too shabby. Let's see if we can do a full throttle just to... It's trying. So it didn't do any shifting there. It just kind of steadily increased. Now we're at crested at the top of the hill. Let's go over some other things about this, and then we'll be done for this video. So one of the things I want to say about the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, the steering, there's no feel at all. And I'm not a guy that's going to make a big stink about steering, but with this particular vehicle, there's no feel at all in the steering. The vehicle does feel, and I haven't felt this in a vehicle in a long time, but I will say this, it does feel top heavy. Like it feels a little tippy. Like when you turn or when you, it's not, I will say this, it has the name Eclipse Cross, but there's nothing Eclipse about this thing. Now, not like the Eclipse of like the Eclipse, Mitsubishi Eclipse of yesteryear. It feels very tippy. It doesn't feel planted whatsoever. Unfortunately, it does not have a planted feeling at all. It feels almost like it's, if I was to take a turn too sharp, I would start, rolling over pretty quickly. I haven't felt that in a vehicle in a long time, and in this vehicle, I actually feel that. So I don't feel that it's planted. It's an odd feeling. Other than that, gas mileage-wise, I've been averaging right about what the EPA has been saying about 26, 27 on the highway. A little bit less around town, but nothing substantial or spectacular, especially coming from a 1.5. I was expecting, better gas mileage. But anyway, so just my overall thoughts about the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. I mean, I think for the money, it's an okay vehicle, but to get some of the features that you want and some of the features that people are looking for, you got to spend upwards of 32, 33 grand. And at that price point, there's so many better vehicles out there. I mean, if you want like a budget crossover, I mean, Mitsubishi's it. But man, if you want something better, just spend a few grand more. There's so many better options and vehicles out there that'll get way better gas mileage than this for around the same price. So that's my overall thought. I think it definitely needs an update. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross definitely needs to be updated pretty heavily. Anyway, this is JMC 6000. If you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I upload now every Wednesday morning and now every Saturday evening with JMC Garage Talk. Awesome. You guys be blessed. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think about this particular video. All right, you guys be blessed. Have a wonderful and amazing new year.